I saved his life. Give him a place to stay. Give him work. Slowly pulling him back from the mud back to the world. But I never could have imagined that. I saved this life with my own hands. Later, he climbed into my bed. She stole the husband of 10 years of marriage. My name is 𝓱𝓾𝓻𝓽, 34 years old this year. A law firm was opened in the city. Specializes in divorce cases. Passed through my hand, helping hundreds of women escape from broken marriages. He helped them secure houses, children, and money. There's no case in court I can't win. But outside the courtroom. But I lost to myself. A woman pulled out of the mud. That woman was named 𝓭𝓮𝓭. One late night 3 years ago. I finished working overtime and left the law firm. In the underground garage, I saw a curled figure. She huddled at the entrance of the fire escape. Her hair was a mess. His face was covered in bruises and purples. Blood still hung at the corner of his mouth. See my headlights. He instinctively shrank back. Like a stray cat scared by someone. I rolled down the window. He lifted his face to look at me. His eyes were hollow like 2 dried-up wells. He spoke weakly. Sis saved me. I took him home. That night. He sat on the sofa in my living room, holding a cup of warm water. He spoke about his experiences in broken fragments. She was 26 years old that year. Her husband is a gambler addicted to gambling. Whenever she lost money, he would beat her with fists and kicks. Every time, they'd beat him to the death. She escaped 3 times. He was taken back 3 times. One last escape. His ribs were directly broken. She was left with no one to rely on. There was no family to return to. Her parents had long since passed away. In this unfamiliar city, she didn't even have a single friend to stay with. My husband Chun Yuan walked out of the bedroom wearing pajamas. Seeing 𝓭𝓮𝓭 looking disheveled on the sofa, paused for a moment. I briefly explained the situation to him. He frowned. No more words. He turned and walked into the kitchen. Heat up 2 cups of milk. Hand me a cup. A cup was gently placed in front of 𝓭𝓮𝓭. The moment 𝓭𝓮𝓭 took the milk, tears fell into the cup in a stream. I've seen too many women tormented by marriage at law firms. But 𝓭𝓮𝓭 was different. She felt a strong sense of shattering within her. It was so heartbreaking, it was hard to breathe. Her wrist is covered with scars that mix old and new, deep and shallow. These are silent distress signals. That very night, I made up my mind. I must save her from her misery. The next day, I helped her start the divorce process for free. Her ex-husband roared wildly in court. He threatened to kill her. I was standing in front of her. He caught the water bottle the man threw at her. My forehead was swollen for 3 whole days. The day the divorce judgment was issued, 𝓭𝓮𝓭 held me and cried for a very long time. She choked up and said, "Sis, from now on, my life was given by you." Every time I think back on this sentence, I find it incredibly ironic. I did everything I could to save his life. But he turned around and took my life. After the divorce, 𝓭𝓮𝓭 had nothing. No job. There is no place to stay. Not even a decent set of clothes. I discussed it with Chun Yuan. Let him temporarily stay in our guest room. Chun Yuan hesitated slightly. Just say, let me decide for myself. At the time, I thought he was cold. She secretly blamed him for not being kind enough or soft-hearted. I personally helped 𝓭𝓮𝓭 prepare the guest room. He took her to the mall to buy a full set of new clothes. She was still arranging for her at my law firm. Took on the roles of receptionist and assistant. She doesn't know how to use a printer. I teach you step by step. She didn't understand legal terminology. I patiently explained. She communicates with clients with stage fright. I practiced with him over and over again. Colleagues often joke that Lawyer Shen isn't hiring employees at all. It was clearly a new sister. I always respond with a smile. Yes, it's the younger sister. 𝓭𝓮𝓭 was especially good at dealing with people. She was the first to arrive at the law firm every day. He wiped everyone's desks spotless. Stay at my place for the weekend. He always rushes to cook and wash dishes. The braised pork ribs he made were even tastier than those in restaurants. Even the usually picky Chen Yuan couldn't help but praise him. Fang Lu always responded with a gentle smile. Hello, madam. I'm staying here and causing you trouble. Cooking a meal is just a small favor. He firmly remembered that Chen Yuan had a bad stomach. When cooking, ginger is deliberately finely chopped, and it can warm the stomach. But I couldn't taste the ginger. I was deeply moved at the time. He said to Chen Yuan. See, there are still more good people in this world. Chen Yuan just smiled. No response. Looking back now, all the clues had long been hidden. The match tickets Chen Yuan couldn't find. Later, she appeared in Fang Lu's WeChat moments. It was the same game he and his friends went to watch. On my birthday, Chen Yuan gave me a silk scarf. The next day, Fang Lu bought the same style but in different colors. I foolishly thought at the time, but the young girl simply admired her brother-in-law. He even found it especially cute. She is 8 years younger than me. In my eyes, it has always been that bae. A little sister who was knocked down by life. Everything began at the beginning of this year. I took on a commercial seal dispute case with a very high target amount. Frequent business trips are required. At the shortest of the year, 2 or 3 days. If long, it completes one cycle. Every time before I go on a business trip, Fang Lu would always take the initiative to comfort me. Sis, don't worry. I'm the one keeping an eye on the home and the law firm. Her eyes were bright. The tone was sincere. It helped me dispel my worries time and again. But every time I went on a business trip and returned home, I can sense subtle changes in the household. The pillow position at the head of the bed quietly changed. There was a bottle of shower gel in the bathroom that I had never bought before. On the balcony, a silk pajama that doesn't belong to me is hanging out. I asked Chen Yuan. He said it was a part-time worker who had come and stayed.
I asked Fang Lu.
He said it was my own mistake and forgot. Their answers were natural and calm. So natural that I even suspected I was being too suspicious. The day the disguise was completely torn off. It was a Friday. I ended my business trip a day early. He wanted to go home early and surprise Chen Yuan. I didn't call ahead to inform you. The plane landed after 4 p.m. I bought it at the flower shop downstairs in my neighborhood. A beautiful bouquet of 𝓵𝓸𝓸𝓴𝓮𝓭 flowers. I thought about taking it home and putting it in a vase in the living room. I stood at my own doorstep. The key is inserted into the lock hole. Gently unscrew it. The moment the door was pushed open, I was completely frozen in the entryway living room. Fang Lu was wearing my pajamas. Curled up on the sofa, I carefully picked, leaning tightly against Chen Yuan's chest, watching TV. My husband was personally feeding her strawberries. That scene was like a cold, slow blade. He stabbed hard into my chest. It still lingered in my heart. The 𝓭𝓸𝓸𝓴𝓮𝓭 in my hand instantly dropped. Petals scattered all over the ground. Fragmented. The moment Fang Lu turned his head and saw me, his expression shifted rapidly. From sweet intimacy to panic. In the end, she became the pitiful girl I know well. The whole process took less than 2 seconds. This woman is truly amazing. Every expression was her weapon for self-protection. Every tear is ammunition for calculation. Chen Yuan hurriedly stood up. He opened his mouth to explain. But for a long time, he couldn't utter a single word. I quietly watched this man of 10 years who had shared a bed. I started as a law firm intern with nothing. He worked his way up to become a partner at a law firm. At the hardest times, I couldn't afford office rent. I gritted my teeth and carried it all by myself. He did complain that I was too busy, too domineering. But she never said she didn't love me. All in the atmosphere of a crash. Fang Lu spoke first. She curled up in the corner of the sofa. The eyes were completely red. With her usual soft, tearful voice. Sis, don't blame Brother Cheng. It's all my fault. You travel for business and are away from home for years. I've been helping you take care of Brother Cheng, guarding this home. It was midnight on that day. Chen suddenly had a stomachache. I called an ambulance to take him to the emergency room. You're far away and can't come back. I was the one who stayed with him in the hospital all night. He felt sorry for how hard I worked. I also feel sorry for him being lonely with us. We really didn't do it on purpose. I heard my own light voice. It was as if it had drifted in from a distant place. I asked calmly, "When did you start?" He lowered his head. The sound was faint and fragmented. During those weeks you went to Beijing to discuss a major case. On Chang's birthday, you call and say you won't be back in time. I saw him staring blankly at the cake alone, feeling too lonely. I was completely stunned. I remember that case in Beijing. They are our firm's most important clients throughout the year. I stayed up 3 whole nights in Beijing, risking everything to help clients win lawsuits and become law firms. He earned 7-figure legal fees. I repeatedly revised the complaint late at night in the hotel. He stayed up until 3 a.m., not daring to rest. I thought I was desperately trying to stabilize my career, protect the family. Little did they know, on the same deep night, my husband was alone facing the birthday cake. And I kindly took her in, dedicated support approaches. In my home, I crossed the line and fell for her. I took 2 steps back.
His back slammed heavily against the cold wall.
I have been navigating the courtroom for many years. He could argue so thoroughly that the opposing lawyer was left speechless. I once thought I was the most reasonable person. But now, looking at the 2 people before him, my throat tightened. Can't say a single word. I turned around in a flustered state. He opened the door, rushing out of the house as if fleeing for his life. The moment the elevator doors slowly closed, I heard it clearly. Something shattered inside. What broke wasn't a decade of marriage. It's not a fake sisterly bond. It is my last act of kindness and trust in this world. That night, I sat alone in the car for a long time. All the scenes from the past 3 years replayed in his mind. It was my soft-hearted who brought him home in his desperate situation. I personally gave him a stable job. I entrusted him to take care of the family before my business trip. Every good deed I do is kind. In the end, it all turned into his sharp blades stabbing at me. Stabbed me in the back one by one. I foolishly paved the way for him. Think of him. Let him steal my life, living a stable and comfortable life. The next day, I returned to the law firm on time. The first thing is to let people go. Cleared all of Fang Lu's items. Then I printed out a divorce agreement. He sent it directly by courier to Chen Yuan. My hand didn't tremble at all while signing, but tears kept falling. It soaked Chen Yuan's name, blurred out a patch of ink. Fang Lu kept calling me. On the other end of the line, he cried his heart out, repeatedly saying sorry. He was momentarily confused. She even said she would return my husband to me. Before I hung up, he only said coldly, "You are the first person I have ever saved in my life. And the last one. I am 𝓱𝓾𝓻𝓽. One helped hundreds of women win. A top leader in divorce cases. In the end, it all comes down to oneself. A complete failure in marriage. I once naively thought kindness could be contagious. Only later did I fully understand. When you hold a frozen snake to your chest to warm it, the first thing the snake did after waking up, it was never gratitude. It was an instinctive backlash. Bite you hard. That bite was a fatal wound to my heart. To him, it was just an ordinary meal. You know, being repeatedly told by the same person, "What does it feel like to play for 6 years?" It wasn't pain, it was numbness. It's when he hits you. You don't even dare to cry out loud. It's when he beats you and you kneel and cry. You actually think he's pitiful. It was you who finally escaped and then walked back on your own. You were the one who pushed that right away with your own hands. Only after you are good will you understand. Some people simply don't deserve your forgiveness. My name is Zhou Min. I'm 32 years old. My husband Zhao Gang and I met through a blind date. Before we got married, he was completely obedient to me. My mom said this child is honest. Following him won't be a loss. I have no opinion. My mom said okay. I'll get married. The second year after marriage, I had a daughter. He wanted a son. Coming out of the delivery room, his face would stretch out for a long time. During the confinement period, she didn't even hold the baby once. The first time I got involved was when my daughter was 1 year old. That day he went out drinking. He only returned in the middle of the night. As soon as she entered, she collapsed onto the bed. The smell of alcohol made me feel nauseous. He reached out and pulled at my clothes, but I didn't want to. Really not appealing. The smell of alcohol coming from his mouth, mixed with the smell of smoke. It makes me want to vomit. I push him away. Tell me to keep your voice down. The child had just fallen asleep. He was stunned for a moment. Then, without warning, a slap came swiftly. I rolled off the bed. The back of her head bumped against the corner of the knitstand. A ringing sound echoed in his ear. It was like 10,000 bees exploding in my mind at once. I haven't yet realized it. He grabbed my hair again, pulled me back onto the bed. That hand was like an iron pincer. I simply couldn't break free. The child was woken up by fright, crying heartbreakingly. He ignored the curses he was mumbling as he spoke. You are my wife. I want to touch you whenever I want. After the beating, he collapsed into sleep. The snoring was deafening. I hugged my daughter and curled up in the bathroom. Locked the door from the inside. Sitting on the toilet, shaking all over. It's not cold, but fear. I was afraid he would suddenly wake up and hit me again. Afraid the child would wake him up crying. Afraid his breathing would be too loud. He didn't even dare to cry out loud. My daughter cried until she was exhausted. She fell asleep in my arms. I looked down and saw tears still hanging on her face. Her small hand gripped my collar, clenching it tightly, still sobbing in my dreams. I just sat there holding her all night. Coolness on bathroom tiles, slowly seeping upward from the solace of her feet. It seeped into my heart. Early the next morning, I packed my things and wanted to go back to my parents' home. He woke up and saw me stuffing clothes into my bag. He rushed over and snatched the bag away, fell to the ground, asked where I was running. I said I wanted to go home. He grabbed my arm, threw me onto the sofa. Tell me which home you're going to. This is your home.
I said 𝓭𝓮𝓮.
You hit me last night. Do you know? He was stunned for a moment. Then squatted in front of me, hold my hand. His eyes instantly reddened. He said 𝓱𝓾𝓻 was sorry. I drank too much yesterday. I don't know what I'm doing. He spoke while slapping himself. The slap made a loud sound. Tears streamed down my face. He said I am not human. Go ahead and hit me. You insult me. Don't leave. I watched him kneel on the ground, crying so hard her whole body trembles. Her heart ached. When he usually doesn't drink. Actually, it's pretty good. I think he might just have been drinking, unable to control himself. He didn't do it on purpose. The way he begged me for forgiveness when he was sober was so genuine. I actually felt sorry for him. I helped him up. He said he wouldn't drink it anymore. He said, okay. I definitely won't drink anymore. If you drink more, I'll be a bastard. Unexpectedly, it was only the third day. He came back again reeking of alcohol. I heard the sluggish footsteps in the hallway. My heart leapt into my throat. He pushed open the door. That familiar smell of alcohol drifted over again. I'm holding my daughter in my arms. Instinctively, he took 2 steps back. Her back was pressed against the wall. My palms are covered in cold sweat. I mustered my courage. The voices were trembling with emotion. Asked him, didn't you promise me you wouldn't drink anymore? He was changing his shoes. Hearing this, he looked up. His gaze was cold and heavy.
He said, mind your own business.
What's wrong with drinking a couple of sips while I'm working myself out there? I didn't know where I got the courage at the time.
He said, his lips trembling.
You said it last time. Never drink again. His shoe changing stopped. He slammed the leather shoe in his hand hard onto the ground. He walked over and grabbed the back of my neck, dragged me into the bedroom. My daughter in my arms was hit and started crying, but he didn't care. Throw me onto the bed. Slap after slap. He slapped and cursed it at the same time. You still dare to mess with me? Giving you face, huh? I curled up to protect my head. His palm landed again and again. My arms and shoulders were on my back. Each stroke felt heavy and stifling. It felt like someone was hitting her with a brick. I wanted to shout so hard it felt like my throat was choked. All I could do was let out hoarse whimpers. My daughter cried so hard she could barely catch her breath. He turned back and shouted at her, "Shut up." He grabbed my jacket and threw it at my face. "Didn't you want to go back to your parents' home? Get lost. Get lost now." I ran out the door holding my daughter, barefoot. The solace of his feet hurt as he stepped on the rubble in the hallway. He walked down to the building of his parents' house. I stopped. I didn't go up. He squatted by the flower bed for a long time. He lowered his head to wipe away the tears on his daughter's face. He used a black hair tie to tie her loose braid again. Then he carried her back again. I walked back myself. No one forced me. After returning, he was mostly sober up, sitting on the sofa smoking. "Watch me push the door open and come in," the disciple said. As long as you know you're back." From that day on, I never ran again. When he was beaten, he didn't even dare to cry loudly. Curled up on the ground, clutching his head, I stayed motionless waiting for him to finish fighting. I told Mom I wanted a divorce. My mom was silent on the other end of the phone for a long time. Then he sighed and said to his daughter, "Divorce would sound so harsh if word got out. How can your parents behave in front of the neighbors? How can you live alone as a woman raising a child? Besides, 𝓱𝓾𝓻 was just drinking. A bit of a temper. When I'm not drinking, it's okay for you. Bear with it. It will get better when the child grows up." My dad grabbed the phone nearby. "Once you marry out, you'll be someone else's family. Couples fighting is a family matter. Don't bring up divorce so easily and be embarrassed." I hung up the phone. For the first time, I thought maybe this was how my whole life would be. In this small place, divorce is more shameful than getting beaten. If you get hit, you can say you accidentally fell. But you can't fool anyone in divorce. Everyone would be whispering behind their backs. "Say, it's your problem. You're the restless one. It's because you can't be a wife." My parents couldn't stand this. I can't stand it either. I lived like this for a full 6 years. That last time was what made me make up my mind. It's not that he beats hard. It was that day I saw my daughter playing with rag dolls in the living room. She took my slipper and slapped it onto the doll. He said as he filmed, "Making you disobedient. Beat you to death, beat you to death." She was only 6 years old. I stood at the kitchen door. The bowl in his hand fell to the ground and shattered. I picked up my daughter. She was startled. "Mom, I was wrong. I didn't say anything." He held her and cried for a long time. That night, while he's asleep, I packed a backpack. Holding their daughter, they boarded the bus to the provincial capital. That was the first time in my life I made a decision on my own. In the provincial capital, I rented a single room in an urban village. I found a job as a supermarket stock clerk, $2,800 per month. The money is little, but every night I open the door. No need to peek out to see if he's home. No need to smell the smell of alcohol in the room. No need to wait until your daughter is crying. Instinctively, he covered her mouth. I met Chun Yuan at the supermarket. He is a delivery person for the supplier. He is 3 years older than me, divorced and childless. He looks average, but the person is especially gentle. Even if you're anxious, he won't be anxious either. Every time they come for deliveries, they help me carry heavy stuff on the spot. Bring an extra box lunch for lunch and put it at my desk. Once my daughter had a fever. I can't take leave. He stayed by my side in the hospital all afternoon. When I rushed over after work, I saw him sitting by the hospital bed, peeling an apple for the little one. Clumsy, unskilled at handling things. The peel was cut into several pieces.
His daughter giggled at his teasing. He looked up and saw me.
He said it was fine now. That night, he took us home. His daughter fell asleep in his arms, her little face buried in his shoulder. Saliva dripped down his shoulder. He didn't mind at all. And afraid of waking the child, she stayed in the same posture, not daring to move. Later we got together. He doesn't mind me taking care of the child. Don't mind that I can't speak well. Don't mind me having nightmares in the middle of the night and waking him up. He said they would save money together in the future. Let's get a bigger house. Arrange a separate room for your daughter. When he said these words,
His fingers gently circled the back of my hand.
eyes that are curved. I think my whole person is warm. So this is what it feels like to be treated gently by someone. But I couldn't take it. During the new year, I took my daughter back to our hometown to see my mom. Before leaving, Chen helped me pack my luggage. I stuffed motion sickness medicine and an umbrella into my bag. He took me to the station. I got in the car. He was even standing at the entrance waving at me. Hands tucked in the middle of winter, hopping and hopping to keep warm. The day after arriving home, 𝓱𝓾𝓻𝓽 arrived. He had grown thin and had a scruffy beard, standing at the door holding 2 boxes of things. The eyes are red, like a stray dog soaked in the rain. My mom wouldn't let him in. He knelt in the hallway. I pretended not to hear. Go to bed? Getting up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. He glanced out through the peephole and he was still there. She fell asleep against the wall. February sky. The wind through the hallway could blow through the bones. I stood behind the door, hands resting on the doorknob. It felt like 2 little people were fighting inside. One said he might as well freeze to death outside. Have you forgotten how he hit you? Another said, look at him, he's already like this. What if this time it's real? I'm useless. I've softened my heart again. The next day, I let him in. He picked up his daughter and spun her around several times. She cried more than a child. Say, Dad, I'm sorry. Dad is not human. While eating, he serves food to everyone. Bring yourself a drink. Not a single drop was drunk. When I left at night, standing at the doorway, not coming in, he said. He knew I didn't believe him. He slowly proved it to me. In the coming days, he comes every day to help my mom change it. Gas drainage and water pipe repairs. My mom also started to give in. They said 𝓱𝓾𝓻 really seemed to have changed. Maybe you should think it over again. After all, they are one family. Children also need to have a complete family. The day I left, he said he wanted to have another meal with his daughter. He asked me to take the child to his place. I hesitated for a moment. I still went there anyway. After dinner, he coaxed his daughter to sleep. Then sit next to me. Start talking about the past. The person he said he owed the most in his life was me. As she spoke, she started crying. Then he suddenly hugged me. Start kissing me. I wanted to push him away, but he held him too tightly. There was no taste of alcohol in his mouth. I pictured Chen standing there, the way the station waved at me. Then another voice came out especially clearly. He is the child's biological father.
He changed the way for his family of 3.
I'll explain Chen side later. He will understand. He's so gentle. He will forgive me. I even told myself, I'm not betraying worldly fate. I'm doing it for the children. To give his daughter a complete family. I made the right choice. I didn't push him away. Afterwards, I lay on 𝓱𝓾𝓻's bed. My mind is completely blank. Chen sent a message. When will you come back? I stared at those lines of text. One typed several times and deleted it. Finally, he replied. There was something going on at home. Wait a few more days. He didn't press further. He only replied with a good. I stayed at 𝓱𝓾𝓻's house for several more days. He didn't drink. Every day after work, she cooks and takes care of the kids. One night,
He said, holding me tight.
look how good we are. I didn't say anything, but I actually felt a bit shaken inside. I'm thinking maybe it's just like this. After all, they are one family. Chen called on the 7th day. He asked where I was. I said at my mom's house. He was silent for a moment before speaking to Joe Min. I asked, You're not at your mom's house. You are with him. His voice was calm. It's not that I'm angry. It's the kind of calm that comes with knowing the ending. I panicked and said to Chen, Give me some time. My mind is really a mess right now. I don't know what to choose. He said one sentence. I couldn't utter a single word. He said you don't need to choose anymore. You stayed with him for 7 days. Isn't your answer already very clear? It's fine, I can accept it. That's it then. The call ended. He blocked me. WeChat was deleted too. Clean and efficient. It's as if I never existed. 3 months after Chen Yuan disappeared, Zhao Gang had a big drink. He returned reeking of alcohol. I looked at his reddened eyes. Unable to control the tremors throughout my body, that fear returned, uncontrollably seeping out from the gaps in the bones. I instinctively stepped back. He grabbed my hair. Pull me back. What are you dodging for? Are you still thinking about that man? When he hit me, all he cursed was about Chen Yuan. I was beaten so badly that I was lying face down on the ground. Chen Yuan's words kept replaying in his mind. Isn't your answer already very clear? The answer is clear. I used all my wounds to take this on. The answer is etched into his bones. I am Zhou Ming. Domestic violence is only 0 or countless times. Everyone has heard this phrase. But only those who have been beaten truly understand. When he beats you and you kneel and cry, I truly regret it. But next time I hit you, they really are hitting you. That damn soft-hearted. It will not bring a prodigal son to return. It only makes him strike more accurately, fists and even harder slaps. Your forgiveness. He couldn't save him. It won't save you either. He will only drag you back to hell again and again. Until you get beaten so badly you don't even have the strength to escape. Don't follow my old path. Don't trust men who kneel. Their knees are worthless. Your life is worth its weight.